Welcome back, everybody. Derek Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Well, this morning, I'm going to give you some tips, show you what I do with Mama. She's been with me now, coming up on 2 years, or over 2 years now, and she was 2 years in March of this month, actually. So this is actually her second year with me. And when I took her over from the previous owner, she didn't have a whole lot of training. She was also a dog that attacked a lot of people and other animals, and so I had to work with Mama and teach her new things. But one of the things that I taught her was staying close to me. So we're going to see an example of that. In fact, I'm going to give her her first command: Mama, stop, stop. And she stops. So I'm going to turn this around and we'll follow some things here. Right now we got some cars coming, so we have to wait. Okay, Mama, let's walk. So as you see, I gave her a release command, and she knows exactly head for the opposite sidewalk. And so now she safely crossed the street without any problems. So she knows the routines, and she stays close by. Also, some of the other things that formed the basis was that she doesn't leave the curb. So down here, you see that curb. I taught her to freeze, to stop. Whenever she comes to a curb, and she doesn't cross. Okay, Mama, let's go this way. This way, baby. And so you see she's following me. She follows very well. She looks, and so I really don't have to do anything with a lead with her, because everything is voice command. And she also has learned to ignore other animals unless she's being charged on or attacked. And so she has learned a lot in the last 2 years. And this takes time, folks. This is not something you're going to be able to teach a dog in a couple of minutes or a day. It takes time and repetition and spending time with the animal to do what you want it to do. And so she's very happy and content. And she also has the freedom of movement. One of the nice things about having the dog on lead, it gives them options. They feel safer, actually, without a lead in a lot of cases. And it's made her a whole lot less aggressive, because she has a way to get away and escape. Also, one of the tricks, and beside on the other side there where I'm showing you, they have a great big dog over there that constantly barks at her, but he's learned that she ignores him and that she doesn't give him the time of day. And that's important, to teach the dog that to ignore certain things. Like that could get her in trouble. If she ran across the street, she could get hit by a car. So that's the importance of her learning boundaries and expectations. And the boundary is right there, that curb. And she knows not to cross that without a release command. So she's patiently waiting for me to give her the next command. And so she's really good. And if you do this all correctly, you'll never have a problem. Come on, baby. And the dog will ignore most things, will ignore people, ignore bicycles, cars, other animals for the most part. So, and then the other great thing is that she is such a powerful dog. She can easily overwhelm me with her strength. And so it's important that you have the dog's trust and also the dog's cooperation. And that's how both of us are going to avoid being injured or being placed in danger. And as you see, again, she freezes right behind me and just looks around to see what's going on. And that's the way it should be. That's how a properly trained off-lead voice command dog will always stay within 6 feet of you. And I don't have to have a lead or a leash. What during the training period, I do use a 9-foot to 10-foot leash so that she has the idea of the boundary, and I expect her to stay within that boundary near me and close to me. And as you see, she hasn't left my side. She has sat down and just waiting for my next move or next command that we continue moving. So I'm going to break this off. We're going to continue our walk right now, but along the way, we're going to be showing you different tips and different things. Thanks for joining me. We'll stay tuned. We'll be right back. Also, Mama, she's allowed to smell her neighborhood, her environment. And then this also settles a dog. They know what to expect. They know the normal smells. And if there's something new, right? Yes, you know I'm talking about you, huh? Yes. Good girl. And so they can see what's going on. They smell what's going on. It's kind of like dogs need to have some freedom, and dogs need to have some freedom and the ability to read what we read email, dogs read P-mail. And so male dogs urinate on trees and things, and the female dogs come along. They smell the urine, and it gives the dog a lot of information about the other dog, the dog that left that marker. It tells them about their health, what they eat, uh, their approximate size because the size of the puddle. So there's a lot of information that the dog picks up reading the P-mail. So allow the dog to read the P-mail and understand what's going on in its neighborhood. You see, Mama's enjoying some sunlight. Nice day out. But she's free to move around, roam around a little bit, get to smell her environment. We have bicyclists that come by on this path right here. And you see a person walking. And so this is important that the dog learns not to chase people on bicycles, scooters, even walking. Now, Mama's been real good with her training and teaching, and so she's well versed. Very comfortable dog, very sweet dog actually, and like I said, giving her this freedom has made her a lot less prone to charging, attacking people, scaring people. Also, one of the things that you always want to do while walking your dog and talk, you want to talk to your dog, because that's how the dog is going to learn your language, because the dogs don't understand you from the get-go. So please, folks, don't beat your dog, don't yell at the dog, don't hit the dog during training, because the dog doesn't understand. A lot of folks think that you get a dog, the dog automatically understands you. Well, no, that's not the case. The dog has to learn what you're saying, what you're asking it to do. And so it takes time. And the first month that you adopt a dog, that dog is learning everything. And it's very difficult for the dog to learn things very quickly and have to associate commands and instructions. So it's real important you take your time, talk to the animal, because dogs do pick up and learn what you're saying. And it's important that the dog understands, and you give the dog time to learn what you're trying to tell it and teach it and asking it to do. So talking to the dog, the animal, is crucial at all times. And talk to them in a fashion that's very calming, very relaxed, not coming from a mean spirit. And you want the dog to always have a positive experience when you're teaching and training, and when it's going through a new experience. Like when I had both of my dogs, my previous dogs, teaching them to get on and off of the boat from a dock. They can be very nervous about getting on something that is moving and something that they've never experienced before. So it's real important that you take your time, make sure that the animal, the dog, always has a positive experience. Positive experiences are crucial in your training. So please, again, like I said, don't yell at the dog, don't hit the dog. The dog is learning to understand you. And then also it's learning what you want. And so for the first few times, probably even a first week, giving instructions and then showing the dog what you want it to do with that command is real important. So there are a lot of things that come into play that make a huge difference on how the dog reacts, how the dog can create a quicker learning curve by having positive reinforced experiences. Good walk. Good walk, Mama. Good walk. You can see that she's very happy. Happy face, happy expression. Tail is in a neutral position. Ears are in a neutral listening, receiving position. So she's very relaxed, very comfortable. Right, Mama? Right, baby? Yes. Also, the other thing of having your dog, walking your dog off lead, is that the dog presents a threat to criminals that might want to harm you, rob you, do bad things to you. And so not only having the dog off lead demonstrates that the dog can go after them. But also I carry a pepper spray, OC spray. And I carry the OC spray for many reasons. Number one, personal protection. It's 24 hours. It's a solution from getting into a fist fight or worse. And so using this spraying a deserving criminal in the face, eyes, nose, mouth can slow down their progress significantly. And then also having the dog like Mama, like that, is quite intimidating to a lot of people, especially seeing a dog that big. And having pepper spray, for those of you that are oppose weapons, guns, I normally carry one, but I don't want to use it. I never want to use that gun. That gun is a last resort. And having the dog, the pepper spray, my martial arts, I stay pretty safe on the streets. Even my wife, who didn't have any kind of martial arts training, she didn't care for violence, and she was not a fighter. But yet, when she walked with our two dogs that we had back then, which was Pandora and Mary, people looked at the two dogs and see they were intimidated by two large black dogs. And Pandora, being American Staffordshire Terrier, people were really uncomfortable because they perceive a dangerous pit bull. But yet my wife walked the two just like I walked Mama. And we walked these dogs on Grand Avenue here in Oakland. And they were fine. And they didn't bother anybody. They didn't hurt anybody. And yet people moved out of my wife's way. In fact, she said normally she's the only one on the sidewalk when she was walking the girls. And so that's a safety issue that is addressed. And her personal safety was there because of the two dogs that she was walking and in that surrounded her. And so that's why I like having my dogs off lead. Also, in the training of the animal, I use hand signals along with voice command. So if the dog is out of range of your voice, your hand signals can still tell the dog what you want it to do. Even if it's come back and the dog can't hear you, you can signal the dog back with hand signals. So we're going to go inside. We're going to cover a few more things on this topic. This is just part one of the training and teaching the dog expectations and boundaries. The dog also has expectations and boundaries that you need to learn from that dog also. We'll be right back.